So hello guys, here one more video. I have here all my Polaroid collection in the shelf that I would like to share with you and why I really believe this is one of the most rare Polaroid collections that is owned by a private person, yeah. So I organized them like somehow here, putting the most, let's say, the really rare Polaroid cameras that I have in the first two shelves here, and I would like to share with you some information about them, yeah. So the first one is this white Polaroid. It's a 600 Herman Freedom, yeah. So really complicated to know how many of these cameras were produced, but what I can say is that this one looks really like new. It was refurbished by Polaroid Originals, so it looks really nice. I use these rarely, yeah. And what I like a lot in this camera is that it's not 100% plastic, so the material is a bit different. It's a metal, yeah. So you can see even like some details here that it's, let's say, metal. It's not a plastic camera, what is quite interesting for me. So I really like it, like this design with this white color. I really like this camera, yeah. The next one is a SX70 Gold edition. It's gold plated, and it's not painted, it's really gold. The information I have is that around 1,500 of these cameras were produced. They were never in the market, so it was quite complicated to get them. Nowadays you can find some of them at eBay, but they are quite expensive, yeah, because it is a really special model from a really, let's say, iconic camera of Polaroid, yeah. So this is a gold version, yeah. I have also, let's say, just to have a comparison how it looked like the normal versions here. This was the first SX70 produced, yeah. And then later on there was this model 2 already in this, let's say, white case and then this white body, yeah. This camera here, specifically this one, was also refurbished by Polaroid Original, so looks like completely new. So this is how they looked like, and this is, let's say, the gold version, yeah. Next one is a 600 camera in this transparent case, yeah, which is also a demo camera. It doesn't work as a camera, you cannot take pictures of it because it's transparent, so light goes inside, it spoils the film that it's inside. But it is really rare to find one because it was also never on the market. It was just for big shops, for retailers, that were selling Polaroid cameras, and the Polaroid company was sending these cameras to these businesses that they could show the customers how the camera works. So you can see the components inside, really nice. This one also in a really good shape, so it is for sure one of the most rare Polaroid cameras you can get, yeah. This is how these 600 cameras look like in the normal version, yeah. This is the autofocus, so exactly the same as I showed, but this one was in the market, quite easy to find. Even in, let's say, a good shape, it's not complicated to find it at eBay, yeah? And here I have, let's say, in other colors, you know, the same camera. So in blue from this LM program, also in yellow, quite complicated to find in yellow, you know, not easy. I just checked I made some research on eBay before recording the video. I could not find even one of these yellow cameras. The red one, the Supercolor red one, it's a bit easier to find, although in a good shape. It's not, let's say, always easy, but they are not that expensive. These cameras you can find for, let's say, a really reasonable price. So also cameras that I really like, quite colorful, yeah. And we also go back to one of the also rare cameras that I have, that it's this Camel version, yeah. That was also, let's say, this one was in the market, yeah, so it was this promotional camera with the Camel logo here. It's not that easy to find. When you find it, they are usually a bit more expensive than the normal 600 cameras. Yeah, this is not an autofocus camera, yeah, it's a bit different from this one here, but this is for sure much more rare, yeah, and more complicated to find it. And then we go to this one that for me it's one of the most interesting cameras, Polaroid cameras I've ever seen. And the reason for that, although I'm not a really big fan of this Polaroid 1600, yeah, so how they look like in the normal version is like this one here, yeah. This you can find, let's say, easily at eBay for, let's say, really good prices, yeah. So I have this one here that it's the normal version that came also with the original box. I have one, this I like, it was never opened, so it's still in the package. It's a camera from the beginning of the 2000s, yeah, so I think it was around 2003 and 2006, it was in the market. So it was never opened, yeah, it's still in the original package, closed, yeah, it's completely new. But this year it's a bit more interesting, and the reason for that is that this was in an exhibition in a Japanese museum 10 years ago, and this is a prototype camera, yeah, so this was never in the market. Polaroid was making some kind of, let's say, tests with this camera in different colors. One of them went to the market, that it's the Rossa, it's the Polaroid 1600 Rossa. This you can find at eBay, also rare, also complicated to find, and let's say also a bit expensive. But this one, I never saw it before, so it's the, let's say, only one I see. I saw, it's the one I have, is this one here. So it's a prototype, so that's why I like it so much, yeah. So it will say it's a one piece, yeah. So if, let's say, you saw already some kind of these cameras completely in yellow at eBay, just write in the comments, because I would be also, let's say, curious to know if one more of this camera exists, yeah. Going further then to this second row of these, let's say, rare Polaroid cameras. I like this one here also a lot because of the color. I think it's really bright, really nice. It's the Impulse. It's not an autofocus camera as this Impulse here. I have two of them that are autofocus. In these colors, quite easy to find, and in black and gray. They also have other colors that are not so common, let's say. But for sure, in my opinion, the most rare one is the Impulse, that it's not autofocus like this one in yellow, yeah? They also have in green, in purple, in blue, in other colors. But this one, it is really, really complicated. I could find one of these camera exactly like this in this color being sold at eBay, yeah? So it's also, let's say, really complicated to find it. Sometimes they appear for also reasonable price. They're not really expensive, but they are much more expensive compared to the ones, the Impulse Polaroids that are in other colors, yeah? So yeah, one of the cameras that I also really like. And then we go further with this, let's say, kind of funny camera, that it's the Looney Tunes special version of Polaroid from the TAS, yeah? When you close it, this is how it looks like, yeah? Also not easy to find, yeah, and when it's in a good condition like this, it looks completely like new. I have two of them. The another one is here, yeah, so with the original box, with the manual instruction inside. So this is one camera that I also really like. I don't use it quite often, so I really like also the design of the button, the button of the shutter here. So for me it is really, let's say, stylish, still with the original plastic here for the stripe, so I really like it. I think it's for the strap, sorry. So I really like this camera also. The design, it's a bit different from other Polaroid cameras, yeah. So going further, there is an SX70 Sonar model, also gold plated, really similar to the SX70 that we saw here, gold plated, but this is a Sonar model, yeah. I also have the, let's say, original version of the Sonar model in gray. This one's quite easy to find, yeah. Although when it is in a really good shape, it's a bit expensive, but it's quite easy to find. So gold plated, much more rare. I would not say it is really complicated to find. There are some of them on eBay, available on eBay, but let's say for a price that it's quite high, yeah. And this one specifically, what makes this also really special for me is that it came with the original box, yeah, and this is really complicated to find. So you can see here the gold, yeah, the box of course is not the best shape, yeah, but it still has some kind of, let's say, label price here, and yeah, so it came with the original box, what I also, let's say, like quite a lot of it, and makes it quite special, yeah. So I think here we already saw the most rare ones, the ones that I consider that are really complicated to find, you know, either complicated to find in any shape or complicated to find when they are like, look like new, like these ones here. Here in this shelf, also some cameras that I really like, that's the SLR680. I have 4 of them, also with the original package here on the background. One original package, what's also not easy to find. So I really like this type of folded cameras of Polaroid. But more than these ones, I really like this one, that it's the 690. It was produced in Japan and it was available only on the Japanese market. So it's quite complicated to find it outside Japan, on eBay, for example. So probably if you want to have one of them, you would have to import it, yeah. This one specifically also came with the original package, yeah. I also have here some Spectra Polaroid cameras that unfortunately Polaroid is not producing the film for these cameras anymore, but this is a special version with this transparent case, yeah. What from it's also really stylish, really nice. So it was celebrating the anniversary of the Polaroid company. So I have two of them. And here this is a much more, let's say, common version, that it's the Image 2, also use Spectra film. This is, let's say, a completely normal Polaroid camera that you can find for a really good price. Yeah, it's not, let's say, a special version as the others. But yeah, this is my Polaroid collection, and that's why I believe it's one of the most rare Polaroid collections owned by a private person. Yeah, so I'll finish the film with this one here, that it's a prototype. If you have seen any of these cameras on eBay, or if you have seen another camera of this one here exactly, just leave in the comments. I would love to know it. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and all the best.